Welcome to the FreshMouth Club. I used to use every non-fluoride toothpaste on the market. I used baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, and I would rinse daily with colloidal silver, but never. My mouth has never felt this fresh. I asked them if I could be an affiliate because I can just only say good things about this product. It is a club, but you are in complete control with how much you get. You can even end it at any time you want if you feel like you're not getting the results. I stand behind this product 10,000%. At FreshMouth Club, we take brushing seriously, and you should too. You only get one set of teeth. Many diseases start in the mouth, so a clean and fresh mouth will lead to a healthy and happy life. Check it out. The link is in the description. It's the FreshMouth Club, and it's 100% snarky endorsed. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's feeling okay. It's a great day, isn't it? Look, they're catching themselves on fire again. And I went through some of their history, and we're going to take a little look back at Antifa. But before we do that, I want to tell you and give you some updates. So the first update is they are setting themselves on fire again, y'all. I couldn't be happier about this. But I want to go over these things first before we get into this, them setting themselves on fire again. It's like Christmas, isn't it? The post office. I went to the post office, so I am going to do a viewer mail. Not today, but my next video. I just want to thank all of you that sent me mail during this time when I was going through all of this. I want to thank my friend Rosemary. And Rosemary, I have to write you a card back, which I will do. And I want Ginny and Tom, my best friends over there in the desert over by Area 51. I have to come out and visit you guys when this whole thing settles down. And so, and there's others, and so I will do that. I just wanted to mention that I had gone and picked up my mail. And I've decided I'm going to start archiving all of the past gifts that you've given me, so I'll be adding those to my viewer mail segments too, because I'm cleaning things out, organizing. I highly recommend other people do that if they get the chance. And again, thank you guys for writing to me, and Jenny and Tom and Rosemary, thank you. Oh, and I want to thank Rosemary for sending me a picture of Max's girlfriend. This only kind of girl he would date, Rosemary. She's a real lady. She's got on the diamonds and everything, all coiffed and all. The Zsa of dogs. History, Mystery, and Murder. So I was writing a book. I talk about this all the time. I was writing a book about the Zodiac Killer. And I know who it is, and it's so interesting because he killed more people than that. And I really have a history on the whole thing, and it's going to be shocking and surprising. And I can't wait to do it, and I'm going to start working on the book, again, using ChatGTP, just on the formatting of it, though. I've already pretty much written it. I just want to know how to format it so it tells the best story. So that's the part I'm doing with GPT. And now I don't need an agent because, But 10 years ago, I needed to get an agent, and the Rothschilds ran the publishing industry. So now, though, it's a new day, isn't it? So I want to continue on because this is really interesting to me. And also, I think it ties into what's going on now. Okay, Antifa cries and sets themselves on fire. Remember when they set themselves on fire all the other times? The big one was when, I don't know, I think it was in 2020, when that guy meant to set he meant to set something else on fire, and he set himself on fire. And they were telling him, they were yelling stupid shit at him, like, untie your shoes. Well, his feet are on fire. They want him to, they were going, untie your shoes. Like he's going to put his hands in the flames. It was just the most comical thing. Of course, he's fine, you know, other than the few burns. But, I mean, he lived. But what the hell do you expect? These people are stupid. They put themselves in front of cars. They do all this stuff. And now they've done it again. They didn't learn in 2020. Anyone who thinks that they're going to win anything, it's only being tolerated now, I think, to show. Things need to be shown. Other things need to happen. But I remember they had Black Lives Matter and the first Antifa. And they kind of went away and got arrested and everything. So now this is like the second wave, I guess. Setting themselves on fire. That's why they didn't learn from the first time. That was the first wave. This is the second wave. They haven't learned yet not to set the American flag on fire or anything else. So what even brings this subject up is that here they are. Some of them. These are the recent ones that were ICE attack. Guilty verdicts in ICE center attack. It's federal crime. So I hope they're going to prison for at least 10 years. At least 10 years. They belong in a mental facility, like one of those old-fashioned ones where they tied you to the bed, chained you to the bed, chained you to the wall, These people are setting themselves on fire. You gotta use chains or something. These people, they look vacant. It looks like a vacant hotel. And every single brain is vacant. It's like all bone, no brain. They don't know what to think because they don't have the mechanical parts for that. You can tell by the eyes. Jesus Christ. They all look trans too, don't they? Every single one of them looks like a trans. Or maybe they're hybrids. Like, I think we're getting into hybrid territory down here. Oh, this looks trans, 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 this looks trans. But as you can see from Neil Johnson, the lumberjack guy, if you don't follow him, he's really good. He's out there in Minnesota. So he's getting he's leering all the latest information about the fraud. He's leering a lot. So yeah, they cried like babies. They cried like baby. He looks kind of like a mad serial killer here. I wish he'd make the smile part better. Anyway, he's a really nice guy. He seems like a really nice guy, hey? And he's up there and he's on top of everything. All things Minnesota. Him and, what's her name? Can't think of her name. Anyway, there's other people from Minnesota that are out and in front, and I can't think of their names right now, but I will later. So yeah, they cried like babies. Chaos in the courtroom. I haven't actually seen it, but hey, 20 to 60 years for this one right here. This one's the most dangerous one. But they're all going to have prison records now. So if they think they're unhirable anyway, what difference does it make if they have prison records? They might learn something in prison, actually. But yeah. I think there could be no better place for each and every one of them. They all need to be arrested. And let's just get them out of the way right now so that we can make America great again, okay? So the third, because the first wasn't enough of a failure, And the second wasn't even more pathetic. You know they're going to have another, his kingdom must come down. His kingdom must come down. Oh, we looked up into the heavens and said, his kingdom must come down. No more kings, his kingdom must come down. His bigotry must come down. It's amazing how they can get out there and just lie and lie and lie. You know what Scott Peterson's mother said to him on the phone? They tape recorded they recorded the whole thing. And he was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And she was like, just lie, lie, lie. And if they catch you in those lies, lie again. Don't ever stop lying. I mean, she just said, just lie, lie, and keep on lying. Well, that sounds like he's one of them. You know, he came from are they CIA? What is Scott Peterson CIA? Maybe he could be the mother coming out with that one, because that's what they do. You know, they're Democrat. You know they're Democrat. Just lie, 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 and if they catch you in those lies, lie again. And you see it time and time again in these interviews. Now they have these TV shows that are just all about the interviews. That's where it starts, in the interrogations raw. You know, like they're in there with the guy, and I swear, I don't know whether it's a curse or a attribute, but I can spot a liar from through the TV, through the 911 call. That's two pieces of technology. You've got all the TV technology and the camera, and then you've got the 911 phone call. I can still tell they're lying. It just reeks. It just hits me in the gut, you know? So I can't stand a liar. So just watching these people lie is just too much, really. Anyway, I get to make fun of it. That's the silver lining around the cloud. Third No Kings rally. Your kingdom must come down. We heard the voice of the people say, no, you're not people. That's what you don't get. You're not like us. You're not real people like us. You're mentally retarded. I'm sorry. Mentally retarded, low IQ. That's what I should have said. And that was not a sensitive thing to say, calling them retarded. But if you look up the meaning of the word retard, it means it's retarded from its natural form, you know? It's mal-tarded. They're maltards. Hey, I just made up a word. These people are so stupid. How can I be expected not to make fun of this? Oh no, a third No Kings rally. These are going to be old people. They're going to have to, and these are going to be from the underground. Anything that's left, any kind of, maybe they'll even drag the homeless into this. I don't know. But you can expect something weird, bizarre, something ancient from like some kind of 1960s protest. And it's going to be ugly. But let's look back at Antifa. Now, a lot of people don't know, but don't realize. It's kind of like the Maxine Waters, who I still need a gender check on that one. Maxine Waters, the person, hid her entertainment background with the Dancing Raisins. A lot of people don't know she was in the original, one of the original Dancing Raisins. The reason we'll just say that for right now. One of the reasons she doesn't like to talk about it is because they said she was a bitch. She was too hard to work with, and that not always did she want to wear the wig, and they needed that for their presentations. And she was just an ugly person to work with, ugly all around. And you saw that in her trying to keep Scott Besson. See, here's the thing that is so funny about that. Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time. That what's so hilarious about it, I guess, but probably frustrating for him. Which I should show that again just because it's so funny. But it's so childish. It's like something a little kid would do, because the question she asked him was full of disinformation and lies, okay? So he's trying to correct her question, which was full of falsehoods. And so he's not going to let her get away with asking that question, because the whole question is a lie, is full of fake Democrat lies. And so, but she won't let him, because she keeps drawing that out. If you go back and look at that one thing, she goes like this. She goes, reclaiming my time. Your Honor, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time. She just drew it out so that none of his words. She was acting like a 3-year-old. You know what it's like? It's like somebody trying to tell you something, and you put your fingers in your ears and go, Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. It's a yabba dabba do time, a dabba, I can't hear you. That's what it's like. She just talked over him so that people couldn't hear what he was saying, that her question was false. Oh, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time. Oh, anyway, a lot of people. Do you like how I segued back into Paul Ryan being Antifa? People don't know that. Remember this guy from the first wave of Antifa? Remember they had all this stuff on? Boy, I'd like to spray some Aquanet right in the eyes. Right in the eyes. They're exposing the very eyes they see with. That's the only thing you're showing me, so psh. You could aim at that neck, which would be another problem for him, her, whatever. But remember, the guy went on TV to talk, or the girl, or whatever it is. These people are hybrids, I think. I think they all look like science experiments, okay? But anyway, there they are walking around with their eyes exposed. That's when I said we should get the Easy Off oven cleaner. So they changed that up real fast. I guess they got too many eye injuries. People, when they're not setting themselves on fire. What is protect Antifa? There was this person on Twitter, the old Twitter. I have a bunch of them. I did a video about this, that they were coming up with, comedy Antifa groups all over Twitter, because they were trying to make themselves look like a really big organization. And I was going through my one of my removable drives last night or yesterday, and I saw Amish Antifa and some other ones that they formed. This is Mar-a-Lago Antifa. So since I know a lot about World War II, as many of us do, we all know that this is directly taken from Nazi Germany. And what was the first thing that Hitler's propaganda agent told them to do? Told them to go out and call everybody else the fascists, everybody else the racists. You accuse them of what you're doing. And so that was the very first thing they did. They play by they're not imaginative, okay? They play by the same, look, they couldn't even make a better flag, something completely different. They just took the old one and added some colors to it. Why? Because Black Lives Matter, you see. And Really? This 1933 parliamentary wing of the Communist Party of Germany seems to love the color red. So I'm just going to leave that hanging out there because I believe that there was harvesting going on during World War II. And you can take that the way you want it. It's just my opinion. Black hoods. They have to cover up their mouths for some reason, but they leave their eyes exposed, idiots. Well, they're catching themselves on fire, so we don't have to worry about it. Same shit, different day. When will at CNN disavow Antifa for throwing urine-filled bottles at police in Boston today? Or do they endorse it? They're not going to. They're part of it. Half of the stuff that you think is real is a CIA op. And they put their little symbols and stuff in there, too, so that you can tell which ones are the CIA ops. But when the whole news is the CIA op, you're in trouble. Cuomo, Fredo. Remember that when he lost his temper on that one? Fredo. Anyway, well, let's look at now they got smart and covered up their eyes because I guess some of them had some eye injuries. So when they're not setting themselves on fire, they're injuring themselves stupidly. So, it's only a matter of time. But it seems like they're coming in waves. They cook up a new batch down in the underground somewhere, maybe in Greenland. So maybe they're this one last factory that they have for these things is in Iran. I don't know. All I know is they seem to get smarter, but now it looks like, they're catching themselves on fire again. So this guy thought he was completely protected, and here's a Trump supporter, and this is what happened. She thinks she's immune to it, and she tries to stop him, and he sort of moves towards her, and she's like, oh, hey, no. He has like a steel rod, too, that punk does. Look. Punch the glasses right off of him. Push it out of the way. Go over to the Karen, and she's like, moves her hand away. Look, she's like a ballerina. And let's watch it one more time. Just one more time, okay? Look, steel rod, no. Punch you in the face? Yeah, let me knock that mask right off of you. Get out of my way. There's a Karen to my left who's looking like she wants to start something. God, I love this. Anyway, it's fun, right? Now, this is Bronco, who I love him. Bronco. I say the A as ah, Bronco. Don't know. I just love his work, though. And I love the way he draws our president. But then he always makes such succinct points as well. Higher education, right? Ivy League. I'm going in for a degree in chemistry. I'm going to study business. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm really into rocket science. I'll be studying law. And then they come out, dead cops now, free speech gone, Whitey, kill Trump. So they go in with high aspirations. They come out unhirable. There's a whole generation of, I don't know what they are. Really, I've reached the conclusion we're looking at a lot of different things out there. And you got to be careful who you talk to, because they're really out there in society, and they don't even know what they are. So you got to be careful out there, people. People with hearts, beating hearts and souls, okay? You just can't be talking to anybody. You got to use your discernment. And look what they did. How did they do that? Really, I want to know. So, yeah, it's just this whole thing needs to be taken down. It needs to be rethought and replanned. And, you know, what the old wisest people did was they observed nature. And they watched and they learned from actual nature. So, you know, there's apprenticeships and stuff like that. I think that would be way better than throwing money into this. But now we've seen it, and it's quite ugly. It's ugly and it's sad. Because you almost can't blame them. They just don't have any critical thinking skills left. This actually stripped them of critical thinking. So they're almost less than retarded. They're like created, you know. It's not like they were born that way. Or maybe they were. Maybe that's part of it too. You got to pass a certain genetic test before you can get into one of these places. And it's not for more brains. It's for more flexibility of the brain. Yeah, it's sad. It's really ugly. Very ugly. So this is the latest thing. Everyone's criticizing the sheriff. This just looks like gymnastics to me. Everything's twisting back and forth. We're going back to the first day. No, we're going here. No, we're looking at the roof. No, we're going over here where this company is. No, you know, and it all ends up a dead end. So I took some notes here. She says that she was going over some of this. This is Ashley Banfield. Says she was supposedly well, let me go back. She states it as fact that she was kidnapped between 1:47 and 2:28 a.m. Where's the proof of this? Where's the proof of this? Are we just going on what the family's saying? Because they're suspect too. They should always be suspect. They could be as innocent as little lambs. They have to be eliminated. The family and the people close. It's like people always get with, how dare you insinuate I would kill my wife? Well, you know what? They have to eliminate you, okay? So you should be out there looking for the real guy. Well, we have to eliminate you first because it's like some outrageous, like 90%, 90+% of married women that are killed, the husband did it, and vice versa. So if the husband is murdered, they have to eliminate the wife. It's not that they're looking at the wife, they're eliminating the wife. You have to eliminate the family, especially as this thing goes on and on and on, and nothing is adding up. You have to eliminate the family. And if you can't eliminate the family, then they still remain suspects. That's just the cold, hard facts. Like I say, you could be innocent as a baby lamb, but they have to eliminate you. And so far, they have not eliminated these people. She says, we know she was kidnapped between 1:47 and 2:28 a.m. Sunday, February 1st. Well, how do we know that? Through the family's word? There's no video of her leaving the house. So why would they only take the video cameras? Because later on, we find out that the cameras were ripped off the front door. So we don't know that she left that house or was kidnapped between 1:47 and 2:28 on Sunday, February 1st, other than what the family is saying. She says, we know they dropped her off and that she opened up her garage door and entered. And that was the last she was seen. No, we don't know that. Where's the video of that? Where's the proof of that? It's all coming from the family. No, we don't know that. So for Ashley Banfield to say that is a little disingenuous because we have no proof of that. And if the policeman said that, well, I don't know how he would know that. He never told how he knew that. I think what I heard him say was the family says that they dropped her off. This whole thing about how she got there and how she got home is sketchy as hell. So no, we don't know those things. And to that point, why do you think the camera was ripped off the front door? To keep from showing the kidnappers? Or to keep people from finding out she wasn't kidnapped? After all. Because if she was kidnapped, it would be on those cameras. Right? So we don't even know any of this stuff. Why were the cameras ripped off the front door? Because they left the ones up on the porch and these guys were like walking around in their crazy outfits as clear as day. So obviously they're not hiding their identity, because they're walking around in these crazy outfits. And let me ask you this question while we're talking about crazy outfits looking like kidnappers out of a movie or something. While we're talking about crazy, conspicuous outfits in the middle of the desert somewhere, what would you notice more? If you were looking out your window, you saw somebody walking around in this crazy outfit, or just a shadow, somebody dressed all in black who you can't even tell if it's a shadow, a man or woman, or what they're up to. You don't even know if it's not somebody going for a walk. Does it really make sense to dress up in those crazy costumes? Well, let me put it to you this way. One thing doesn't make sense. If you believe it's a kidnapping and that they're walking around in those crazy outfits, then why they don't need to take the camera off the front door is what I'm getting at. They're already on camera all around the other cameras. And if they know about the camera on the front door, they're going to know about the other cameras because they took other cameras. But they just missed all these other ones in the back that they were walking in front of. I mean, does that even make any sense? Okay? So they don't even need the cameras to be removed because you can't tell what they are dressed up like that. But if any neighbor or anybody drove by and saw somebody dressed like that, it would capture their attention immediately. They practically glow in the dark with all that stuff on. And it would have been a lot more stealth to just wear all black, okay? And you could be caught on the camera, slinking with a black ski mask on, all in black and not attract any attention. No, there was something so theatrical about that whole video where they've got all those outfits on and everything. And again, they don't care about the cameras to capture themselves, obviously. They walked all around in those outfits. And if they were really, truly kidnappers wearing those outfits, they don't need to rip the camera off the front door. Why do they need that? They've already been caught on camera. Okay? If you're going to try to make it look like somebody was kidnapped, just ripping the camera off the front. Well, just if she was never kidnapped, because right now the location of the blood is inside the home. That's where they concentrated all their efforts to begin with anyway. And that's where, remember where else they went? To the sister's house, the son-in-law and the sister's house. Why? And the sheriff just said the other day, we've known from the very beginning. And remember he went to that baseball game? Well, what if he's being told to back off? What if he's being told to back off the family? Well, they don't need him for anything. He's already told you where he thinks the problem is. I'm just working on what we do know is that, Ashley Banfield says, we know that, no, we don't know any of that stuff. We don't know that she was kidnapped at 1:47 to 2:28 a.m. How do we know that? She has a heart monitor or something, but how do we know where she was when that happened? We don't know any of that because the camera was ripped off the front. So there's no record of the kidnapping, okay? But there is a record of the kidnappers running around the roof and everything. So they're not afraid of being videoed. And why would they even remove that camera? Wouldn't they want they're all covered up, they've got their little outfits on, wouldn't they want to bring her out, put her in front of the camera, and then take her somewhere off camera? So there's a lot of questions I have, but the one thing that bugs me the most is that notice on the door, the visit from the elder abuse people. And I think the house is going to tell the story. And look, the second place they went and searched and this came straight from Ashley Banfield. She said she had it on good info that the sheriff was looking at the sister and the husband, and that they'd already asked for the sister's car, and they had gone to the husband's house. Well, you need to clear that up. You need to clear that up. That's not been cleared up. And we don't have any video of the actual kidnapping. So we don't even know that she ever left that house or what state she left it in. So, to me, this is just a big mess. And everything they're doing is just making it drag out. And it's going to end up, well, I guess we never will solve that case, But if they really try to solve it, I think they'll go back to the beginning, because back to the beginning is usually where it ends up. They haven't eliminated the family yet. Well, let's put it this way. They haven't offered anything up that has eliminated the family, all right? They can come out and say, well, we've eliminated them. Well, how? Tell us. Because right now, we don't even know that she ever left that house to even go to this event over there and then come back. And you just dump her out in front of the garage and she goes in by herself. You don't take her in or anything. It's crazy. Made her take an Uber there. It's just weird. The whole thing is weird. And it does show a lack of, in regard to the elder abuse card being on the door from the elder abuse people. It does show a kind of even if it is true, it does show kind of a lack of care to her, to Nancy, that you're going to schlep her over in a Uber when you live right down the street. You live like a half a mile down the street. You're going to make your mom take an Uber. You can't jump in the car and go pick her up. Nobody's there that can pick her up. It's weird. The whole thing is weird. And they're not coming up with anyone. And remember he went to the baseball game or the basketball game? Well, he probably felt like he was being kicked aside, told not to do anything, when he already was doing what he thought looked suspicious. So that's kind of the way I'm thinking it. I think he's being told and controlled. At this point, they don't want the family implicated. But you have to eliminate them, and they haven't done that. So those are my feelings. It's just my opinion. As far as I'm concerned, the family is still suspect. They have not been eliminated. And that's just my opinion. So anyway. So these Karens went to Cuba, and they got kicked out because they don't know. What is the matter with it? It's almost like they are mentally retarded, really. I don't know if they're on any kind of medication or, where they are, but this is like somebody, they were talking about her saying that she's rich and everything. She just never had a job or anything like that. She's just a rich housewife from California who attaches herself to all of these things, these causes that are Democrat causes. So, they think they're saving the freaking Cuban people. Your kingdom must come down. Why don't you go to the No Kings? They've got a new one coming up. You'd probably be better off there than trying to tell the Cuban people what to do. You freaking Karen from hell. Do you realize what a cartoon you look like? I don't know. If that's the husband, then what the fuck are you doing married to her? Maybe it's her son. Anyway, what the hell are you doing going to Cuba telling people how to be Cuban? They know when they've been oppressed, okay? You don't need to come over and tell them that they're not oppressed. They know when they're getting oppressed. That's just like them calling us Nazis. No, we're not Nazis and we know it. That's the problem you have. No more lies. No more Democrat lies. God, they lie. Jesus. So, I'm going to end on this one. Actually, I'm going to end on a shape-shifting video for you guys. I'm going to start ending on as many shapeshifters. I'm going to try to insert a shapeshifter into a lot of my broadcasts now because this only happened between a certain time period. And then they fixed it somehow. So, But for a while, it was going wild. And I don't think they knew how to fix it. Because all the news stations had HD cameras. So it was something that happened with the HD camera. So I think it's really interesting. Anyway, this thing, look at the arms on that thing. E.J. Johnson tries to erase women. Well, what's he going to do? Knock them all out? Punch them? Put them in a grave? Because that's the only way you're going to erase women. Magic Johnson's son, EJ, says girls don't look cute. Well, then don't date them. But you sure don't look cute. If it came in my backyard, I'd shoot first, ask questions later. No, honey, you don't look cute. You look big. Look at the arms. Let go of that waist. Let go of that Adonis belt. And see if your arms don't fall below your knees. No, men have way longer arms than we do, okay? They can't hide that. You're going to look like a long-armed whatever. I'll just say Florida skunk ape to be on the safe side. I think most men of any color would agree this is not cute, unless you're looking to, wait a minute, unless you're comparing it to this. If you want to say, oh, okay, yeah, you're cuter than this. You're cuter than this thing. I'll give you that one, okay? But you've still got his arms. And I bet you've got his hairy breasts, too. You just happen to shave that day. And Photoshop's great, isn't it? Okay, I've just got one thing to say about this. No, you don't look anything like a girl. You look like a boy in a dress with long arms and a giant neck, hips, straight up and down. You don't look anything like a woman. He says girls aren't cute. Well, you're gay. What do you... You're not supposed to think girls are cute. You're supposed to look like guys, but do guys like you? Now, this guy's called Dark Waters. He thinks they're all demons. He takes the biblical explanation. So you got to kind of take that into consideration. But he says, watch the water. He's a Q follower. He shows lots of things coming out of the water and happening in the water that are really bizarre. And he shows the shape-shifting. He thinks they're demons. So, but he's, you know, in a way he's right, because I think they're inhabited by demonic energies. So, but, you know, it's not really the whole story. You know, there's a lot more to it than just that. But in a way, he is right. They are inhabited by demonic energy, and they are soulless. So, you know, in that regard. So on that note, after this little shape-shifting video, I'll be signing off.
I don't understand why it's so hard for people to believe and come to the understanding that everything you see ain't what you see. Yeah, dog Waters, you don't know what you're talking about. That's fake. That's fraud. I want to see the lizard people eat some of y'all asses so bad. Yeah. The day that lizard people come out on the street and they walking like this with long tails and looking like velociraptors and they just chopping your heads off, I'm going to be sitting back clapping going, bravo, lizard people, bravo. Eat them. Get them. For the rest of y'all, I'm going to tell you how you deal with them. Go on to the store, get you a shotgun. Get you some dragon breath and get you some slug. And you're going to load it with dragon breath slug, dragon breath slug, dragon breath slug. And one of them lizards come, you hit him with the dragon breath, because he's a damn dragon. Then you hit him with the slug. Then you hit him with the dragon breath, then you hit him with the slug. All right, that's how you deal with it.